Nanny was very lovable and humble, the kind of woman who carried calm wherever she went. Her name was Carla, and from the first day she stepped into Grandma Evelyn's home in Boston, everyone felt her warmth. Evelyn, though surrounded by children and grandchildren, often felt lonely. The house buzzed with visitors on weekends, but by Monday silence returned. Carla filled that silence, bringing laughter, cooking Evelyn's favorite meals, and listening to her endless stories about how things used to be. Within weeks, Evelyn trusted her completely. "Carla," she said one morning sipping tea, "you're like the daughter I never had." Carla smiled, lowering her eyes modestly. "That means a lot, ma'am. I just want to make your life easier." When Evelyn's children called, they often heard Carla's cheerful voice in the background, reminding Evelyn of her medication or adjusting her phone for video calls. "She's a blessing," Evelyn would tell them proudly. "You don't find people like her anymore." What no one noticed was how Carla quietly began learning everything. Evelyn's habits, her passwords, her routines, even her fears. And beneath that smile that charmed everyone, something far less innocent was slowly forming. "Grandma Evelyn, I think your phone's acting up again," Carla said one afternoon, frowning at the aging iPhone. Evelyn sighed. "Oh, I can never keep up with these gadgets. Every time I touch something, it disappears." Carla chuckled sweetly. "Don't worry, I'll take care of it." She slid into the armchair beside Evelyn, fingers moving swiftly over the screen. Within days, Carla became Evelyn's tech angel. She helped her reset passwords, order groceries online, and even check her bank balance. Evelyn, grateful for the help, gave her full access to her email, just in case I forget again. When Evelyn's daughter Laura stopped by one weekend, she was impressed. "Wow, Mom, you're finally using the bank app?" "Oh, Carla set it up for me," Evelyn beamed. "She's so smart with these things. I don't know what I'd do without her." Laura smiled politely, though something about it made her uneasy. "That's great, Mom. Just make sure you know what's going on with your accounts, okay?" Evelyn waved her off. "Oh, Laura, don't be suspicious. Carla's like family." Carla stood in the doorway, smiling faintly, a practiced smile that concealed her growing confidence. Trust had been built, and soon it would be tested. Weeks passed, and Carla's presence had become part of the home's rhythm. She prepared Evelyn's morning tea, handled online grocery orders, and kept her calendar in check. Everyone trusted her. She was patient, dependable, always ready with a warm smile. Then one morning, Carla said casually, "Mrs. Evelyn, your pharmacy bill didn't go through. I'll just pay it from your card and reimburse it later, okay?" Evelyn, knitting by the window, nodded without hesitation. "Of course, dear. You know what's best." That was the beginning, a $48 pharmacy payment. Then $72 for a delivery fee. Then $110 for home maintenance. Carla kept the amounts small, spread apart, and always had an explanation ready. She was careful, meticulous even. Evelyn never checked her bank app. She relied on Carla to keep things tidy. Meanwhile, Evelyn's grandson Mark, a software engineer, stopped by one weekend and noticed the nanny shopping online from Evelyn's tablet. "Carla, are you ordering something for Grandma?" "Oh yes," she said quickly. "Just her arthritis gloves." Mark nodded but made a mental note. Something about the way she switched tabs so fast didn't sit right. Carla's charm was her weapon, and she wielded it flawlessly. But suspicion had just been born. Laura noticed something unsettling during her next visit. Her mother, once cautious about every penny, now brushed off financial matters. "Mom, I saw the gardener this morning," Laura began gently. "He said you paid him in cash last week. You never carry cash." "Oh, Carla helped me withdraw it," Evelyn said with a bright smile. "She showed me how to use that little card thing at the store." Laura frowned. "You mean your debit card?" Yes. She knows how to do all that. She even set up that tap-to-pay thing on my phone. Isn't it wonderful?" Laura's heart tightened. "Mom, you shouldn't give anyone full access to your accounts, even Carla." Evelyn chuckled, patting her daughter's hand. "Laura, don't be silly. Carla's the only one who understands all this new technology. She's been such a blessing." Carla entered just then, carrying a tray of tea. Her tone was calm but sharp. "Everything okay here, Ms. Laura?" Laura forced a smile. "Everything's fine. Just chatting with Mom." Carla's eyes lingered, unreadable, guarded. That night Laura couldn't sleep. Something about Carla's confidence, her control, it didn't feel right. But how could she prove it without breaking her mother's heart? Carla's game evolved. Her growing access made things easy, and Evelyn's gratitude kept her shielded from suspicion. Mrs. Evelyn, she said one sunny afternoon, your online account has some payments pending. If I don't confirm them, you might lose your subscription services. Evelyn looked alarmed. Oh no, I don't want any trouble. Just take care of it for me, dear. Carla smiled reassuringly. Of course. I'll move the money from your savings to checking so the payments go through. She spoke gently as if protecting Evelyn from the confusing world of online banking. Her fingers moved quickly over the tablet, transferring $5,000, a simple adjustment. Later she transferred another $2,000. Then another. Small enough not to raise alerts, large enough to make a difference in her secret savings account under a fake name. One evening as Evelyn watched her favorite show, she asked softly, Carla, I keep getting those text messages from the bank. Should I open them? Carla's voice turned honey-sweet. Oh, those are just system errors, Mrs. Evelyn. I'll handle them for you. And Evelyn, ever-trusting, nodded. You're such a blessing, Carla. I don't know what I'd do without you. Carla smiled faintly, but this time her eyes didn't match the kindness in her voice. It was a quiet Thursday morning when Evelyn's eldest daughter, Linda, stopped by with her teenage son, Max. She brought groceries and a bright smile, until she saw Carla quickly minimize a bank app on the tablet. Oh, just helping your mother check her emails, Carla said a little too quickly. Linda smiled politely but her eyes lingered. That's kind of you, Carla. Mom, you've really gotten used to all this online stuff, huh? Evelyn chuckled. Well, not really, dear. Carla helps with most of it. I'd be lost without her. Something about that answer made Linda uneasy. Later, as Carla went to fix tea, Linda leaned toward her mother. Mom, when was the last time you checked your bank balance yourself? Evelyn frowned thoughtfully. Oh, I don't bother with that anymore. Carla handles everything. She even keeps my passwords safe. Linda froze. She has your passwords? Yes, she needs them to pay bills. When Carla returned with the tea, her cheerful, "Here we go," sounded almost too sweet. Linda thanked her but couldn't shake the uneasy feeling. As she left that day, Linda whispered to Max, "Something's off. Keep an eye on those text alerts Grandma gets." Max nodded, sensing a storm brewing behind the gentle smiles. That weekend, Linda couldn't stop thinking about her mother's words. Something inside her just wouldn't rest. So Sunday afternoon, while visiting again, she waited until Evelyn went out for her usual nap. "Max," she whispered, "bring me Grandma's phone." He handed it over and Linda scrolled through the unread bank messages. Her stomach tightened. There were multiple alerts about recent transfers, all made through online banking. Each message carried the same pattern. Funds moved to an unfamiliar account, always on days Carla was around. Her heart sank. "Oh, Mom," she breathed. Just then, Carla entered the room carrying folded laundry, her voice light. "Mrs. Linda, need anything before I start dinner?" Linda quickly locked the phone and smiled tightly. "No, thank you. You've done enough for today." As Carla walked away, Linda's eyes followed her, steady and sharp. That night, she logged into Evelyn's bank account using the remembered password, Sunshine 1950. The numbers on the screen hit her like a slap. Over $60,000 missing. Tears welled up. That was her mother's life savings, gone. "Max," she whispered, trembling, "don't tell Grandma yet. But we're going to find out exactly where this money went." And in that quiet suburban home, the truth began to unfold. Linda sat up most of the night, eyes burning as she combed through transaction details. Each transfer led to a bank account under the name Carla Jennings, opened just 3 months ago. The timing aligned perfectly with the day Carla started working for Evelyn. Morning came. Evelyn's cheerful voice called from the kitchen. "Linda, dear, have some breakfast before you go." Linda forced a smile, her heart pounding. "Sure, Mom." Carla appeared moments later, apron on, serving pancakes with her usual warm tone. "Mrs. Evelyn, your favorite blueberry syrup." Linda watched her closely. Every move, every glance seemed rehearsed. After breakfast, Linda stepped onto the porch to call her husband, Mark. "It's her," she said quietly. Carla stole from Mom. "I have proof, transfers, bank ID, everything." Mark's voice was firm. "You need to report this before she disappears." "I know," Linda whispered, "but I can't just break it to Mom like that. She trusts Carla more than anyone." From the window, Carla's face appeared, calm, almost smiling as if she knew she was being discussed. Linda ended the call quickly. "She's not just bold," she muttered, "she's dangerous." Something told her this wasn't going to end quietly. The next morning, Linda returned with quiet determination. She had printed bank statements in hand and her husband waiting in the car outside, just in case things got ugly. Carla was in the kitchen humming softly, making oatmeal for Evelyn. "Good morning, Mrs. Linda," she said, smiling as if nothing had happened. "Morning, Carla," Linda replied evenly. "Could we talk privately?" Carla hesitated but nodded. They stepped into the living room. Linda placed the papers on the coffee table. "You've been transferring my mother's money into this account," she said, tapping the page. "Yours?" For a brief second, Carla's expression froze, then melted into calm denial. "That's ridiculous. Mrs. Evelyn approved every transaction." "She doesn't even understand online banking," Linda snapped. "You took advantage of her." Carla folded her arms. "Careful with your words, Mrs. Linda. That's a serious accusation." Just then, Evelyn's voice came from behind them. "What's going on here?" Carla turned quickly, putting on her softest voice. "Your daughter thinks I stole from you, ma'am." Evelyn's eyes widened in shock. "Linda, how could you say such a thing?" Linda looked heartbroken. "Because I have to protect you, Mom. Please, just look at the evidence." And for the first time, doubt flickered in Evelyn's trusting eyes. Evelyn's hands trembled as she looked at the papers spread across the table. "Carla, is this true?" she asked softly, her voice breaking. Carla stepped closer, her tone smooth and practiced. "Mrs. Evelyn, I would never steal from you. I think your daughter misunderstood. These were bill payments, remember?" Evelyn shook her head slowly. "Bill payments? For what, dear?" Linda leaned forward gently. "Mom, look at these amounts. 5,000 here, 3,000 there, all going to Carla's account. You worked your whole life for that money." The room grew silent. The ticking clock was the only sound. Finally, Evelyn's voice cracked. "Carla, I trusted you like family." Carla's eyes hardened. "And I was like family until she came between us." Linda's voice trembled with anger. "You betrayed her. You used her kindness for greed." Carla's mask slipped, bitterness seeping through. "You think she'd have survived without me? I cared for her when none of you did." Tears streamed down Evelyn's cheeks. "Get out," she whispered, her voice quivering but firm. "Get out of my house, Carla." Carla froze, then turned sharply, jaw tight, and stormed toward the door. Outside, she paused on the porch, her eyes cold. "You'll regret this," she muttered under her breath. The house felt painfully quiet after Carla's departure. Evelyn sat on her recliner, staring blankly at the folded bank statements in her lap. Her once bright eyes seemed lost in disbelief. Linda knelt beside her. "Mom, I'm so sorry. I should have noticed sooner." Evelyn shook her head slowly. "No, honey. I let her in. I trusted her. She called me Mama." Her voice cracked. "She even prayed with me at night." Linda placed a comforting hand over her mother's. "We'll fix this. I already contacted the bank. They're working with the police. You'll get your money back." Evelyn sighed deeply. "It's not just the money, sweetheart. It's the betrayal. How could someone so gentle be so cruel?" Just then Max entered the room holding a small tablet. "Grandma," he said, "look, I found videos from your security camera." Linda frowned. "You set those up?" "Yeah," Max said quietly. "Weeks ago when I felt something was off." On the screen, the footage showed Carla entering Evelyn's room late at night, opening her purse and using her phone, over and over again. Evelyn covered her mouth, whispering, "Oh dear Lord." Linda exhaled shakily. "This is it. The truth right here." Weeks passed and peace slowly returned to the quiet suburban home. Evelyn had withdrawn most of her accounts and placed them under family supervision. Carla, stripped of the funds she stole and forced to return much of what remained, stood before the door one afternoon, trembling. "I came to apologize," she said softly. "I don't expect forgiveness, ma'am. I lost myself." Evelyn's eyes were sad but steady. "Carla," she said gently, "what you did hurt me deeply. But anger won't heal either of us. I forgive you." Tears welled up in Carla's eyes. "Thank you. I don't deserve that." Linda, standing beside her mother, added firmly, "You'll make it right by never doing this to anyone again." Carla nodded. "I will." She left with only a few belongings, her clothes, a worn Bible, and the weight of guilt she'd carry for years. Later that evening, Evelyn sat beside her daughter on the porch. "Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting," she said softly. "It just means I'm choosing peace over bitterness." The sunset stretched over the city skyline, a quiet reminder that sometimes, grace does more healing than punishment ever could.